Okay, let's unpack this. We've got a project report here on something pretty interesting happening right inside Telegram. It's called Catizen.
Yeah, Catizen. It's this cat-themed gaming bot. Runs as a mini app.
Right, a mini app. And it sounds, almost simple. A cat game in your messenger.
Exactly. But this report,
Hmm.
it shows it's gained some really, really remarkable traction super fast.
That's what caught my eye, too. So for this deep dive, our mission, really, is to pull out the key stuff from this report. We need to understand what Catizen is, what its token CAT actually does.
And the growth, right, those numbers.
Yeah, the numbers are genuinely surprising, and we'll look at where they're planning to go next. Basically, it's your shortcut to getting up to speed on a project, making waves inside an app you probably use every day.
And that's the hook, isn't it? Building something at this scale, like the report describes, not as some separate download, but right there within Telegram, the potential reach. It's huge.
Okay, let's jump right in. What is Catizen at its core?
So fundamentally, it's a gaming platform. But the key thing, the report really stresses this, is that it operates entirely as a mini app inside the Telegram Messenger. You just launch it from there.
And obviously lots of cats involved.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The report's clear. The cat theme is central to the whole experience.
Yeah.
And technically, it's built on the TON network.
Ah, the Telegram Open Network.
Exactly. And the TLA token itself is a TO Jeton, which is just, their standard token type on that blockchain.
Okay, COT. We see that mentioned everywhere with this project. Is it just like in-game money?
It's definitely more. According to this report, COT is positioned as the native utility and governance token for the whole Catizen ecosystem. Its functions are pretty core.
Okay, so break down those uses for us based on the source.
All right, first, yes, it is a universal currency inside the platform. The report says you use CARC for buying items, upgrades, accessing services.
Like what specifically?
It mentions using it in their game center for getting into their launch pool and within something called open task features.
So spending it in-game and on platform features. Got it. What's the second main role?
Governance. Holding CATI gives you a say.
How so?
Well, the report states holders can vote on upcoming projects that get featured on the Catizen launch pool platform. So there's a direct democratic piece there.
Right, governance. Okay. And the third big one?
Staking and rewards.
Mm-hmm.
You can stake your Tilla tokens to participate in that launch pool platform.
Mm-hmm.
Basically using your tokens to back projects they feature, maybe get rewards from them.
Uh-huh.
Plus, the report notes that just holding CATI makes you eligible for future airdrops through their open task system.
That's interesting. Staking for launch pools, holding for airdrops via open tasks. So the token's really woven into everything they do.
Pretty much, yeah.
The report also mentions they're helping others build on Catizen. Is that right?
It does, yeah, briefly. It talks about an SDK, a software development kit.
Yeah.
That's, crucial if they want other devs making games or features that plug into Catizen. Suggests they're aiming to be more of a platform. And they also mention a game engine they developed, specifically to boost performance for those mini games. Loading times, success rates, important stuff for keeping users happy.
Makes sense. And all this needs funding. What did the report say about that?
Correct. They raised $2.8 million USD. That was across seed and strategic funding rounds.
And how did that tie into the token specifically?
Well, a set amount of CATI was sold in those rounds. The report says 100 million CI tokens went to those investors. That works out to 10.00% of the total supply.
Okay, let's zoom out to the bigger tokenomics picture then. This is as of September 13th, 2024, according to the report. What are the total supply numbers?
Total and Axon supply is capped at 1 billion CII. 1 million tokens.
A billion. And what about the amount circulating right at the start when it listed?
The initial circulating supply was pegged at 305 million CII, so around 30.5% of the total.
And a decent chunk of that initial supply went through Binance Launch Pool.
That's right. 90 million CII, which is 9.00% of the total, was allocated there. The report notes it started September 16th, 2024.
Okay, can you run through the full distribution breakdown from the report? How does that billion tokens get split up?
Sure. So seed round investors got 8.00%. Strategic round investors got 2.00%. Binance Launch Pool, as we said, 9.000%. The team allocation is 20.00%.
30% for the team. Okay.
Then 5.00% for liquidity, the airdrop. This is the big one, 34.00%.
Wow, 34% for the airdrop. That really stands out.
It does. Then Treasury gets 15.00%, and advisors receive 7.00%.
That huge airdrop slice, it really signals a focus on getting tokens out to users, doesn't it? Maybe rewarding early folks or just broad distribution. Interesting strategy.
It definitely suggests a major push for community distribution or using token incentives to build the user base fast.
Mm.
But, seeing these pie charts is one thing. Where the report really grabs you is when it talks about actual performance, the traction.
Right, the user numbers and revenue. This is where that unprecedented claim comes in.
Exactly. Tell us about that. What are the key metrics from September 2024?
Okay, the figures are, well, they're pretty big for this space. The report lists in-game revenue at over $26 million USD.
Okay, hang on. $26 million plus in revenue from a mini app inside Telegram.
Yeah. That feels like the headline number here, doesn't it?
It really does. And the user base must be massive to support that kind of revenue.
Over 37 million players in total.
37 million. Wow. That's
Yeah.
some serious user acquisition.
And this is where the report gets specific about the quality of that base. It distinguishes between just total users and, like, engaged users. It says they have over 1.2 million paying users.
And users, okay.
And the report literally calls this unprecedented among Web3 games.
Unprecedented.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a strong word. So they didn't just get eyeballs. They converted over 1 million into actual customers.
Yeah.
It kind of pushes back on the idea that Web3 games always struggle with making money, right?
It strongly suggests they found a formula that works, at least for their specific audience and platform. The report also mentions over 2.9 million on-chain users and over 2.3 million Telegram Premium users among their players. So a big chunk is already kind of embedded in that Telegram 2 and ecosystem.
Right, they're familiar with it. Okay, so how are they actually making this money? What's the business model driving this?
The report calls it a sustainable mix of IAB, that's in-app advertising, and IAP, in-app purchases.
Ads plus purchases. Makes sense.
Yeah, and they give an example, this mini game Bombi in their game center, as proof that this hybrid model works for them.
So ads and direct sales
Yeah.
leveraged across millions of users, all within that smooth Telegram experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's clear they've moved fast to hit these numbers. What does the roadmap section say about their journey so far? The milestones.
It lays out a really quick timeline. The official open beta only launched in Q1 2024, March 19th.
Q1 2024. So these huge numbers, they happened in less than a year from the beta launch.
Yeah, puts the speed into perspective, right?
Definitely.
Then in Q2 2024, they got a lot more visible. Featured at big events, Telegram's founders highlighted them at #Token2049. And they even got mentioned in a Pantera Capital blog post. So major players in the crypto and TON space noticed them early.
That kind of spotlight would definitely speed things up.
For sure. Also in Q2, they tested their launch pool idea with an in-game version for something called Juicy AT. The report mentions huge participation, over 170,000 people staking in-game credits worth over $3.9 million USD.
Okay, so users were already engaging with that core platform feature early on.
Yeah.
Good sign.
And they got recognized for performance, too.
Yep. Report highlights success in something called the Open League Application Battle on TON. They ranked first place in Q2 and then kept that top spot for 3 seasons straight by Q3 2024.
3 seasons running. That shows consistent engagement within the TON ecosystem.
Yeah, points to strong metrics. What else happened in Q3?
Pluto Studio, that's the publisher behind Catizen, they closed a funding round. Big names involved like Finance Labs, Hashkey Capital, others listed in the report.
More funding, okay.
They also launched the full Catizen Game Center with multiple mini-games, so expanding beyond just the original game. And critically, they completed the main Shigi token launch and that big airdrop we talked about.
Right, so the token distribution we discussed earlier was finalized by Q3 2024. They've definitely executed fast. What does the report say about the future? Where are they heading next?
The plans are, well, they're pretty ambitious. For Q4 2024, the goal is to fully open up the launch pool and game center for anyone to participate. They're planning to integrate 5 external launch pool projects and get 20 games total onto the platform.
Okay, so really expanding the ecosystem now.
Yeah,
Bringing in outside projects and games, becoming more of a hub.
exactly. What about 2025?
Q1 2025 is about developing a task platform with a Web3 advertising system, kind of building out that ad model. And this is interesting. They plan to start integrating AI cats.
AI cats. What does it actually mean, like, in the game?
The report just says starting the integration of AI companions. It suggests maybe more interactive elements, perhaps personalized experiences within the game or platform powered by AI.
AI companions. Interesting.
Then Q2 2025 is scheduled for the full-scale launch of that AI cats feature. The goal is enhanced social interaction.
That's a fascinating potential twist for a gaming platform, AI-powered companions. And further out in 2025.
By Q3 2025, the roadmap shows a huge expansion goal, integrating over 200 plus mini apps.
200 plus, wow.
Yeah. The stated aim is to become a really comprehensive minigame and social hub, moving way beyond just Catizen itself, and even integrating with desktop games.
200 apps and linking to desktop, that paints a picture of a really massive platform built off this initial Telegram mini app success.
It definitely signals a long-term vision. Leverage the user base, leverage the Telegram framework, build a much bigger gaming and social world.
This has been quite the deep dive into this Catizen report then. We've seen this project, built inside Telegram, uses the CAT theme, powered by its CATI token with utility and governance, and that huge airdrop component.
Yeah, and the numbers, right? The tens of millions of users, over a million paying, the significant revenue, all happening really fast.
Exactly, all through that hybrid ad and purchase model. And the roadmap shows these bold plans to evolve into a much bigger gaming and social hub, maybe with AI, hundreds of apps.
The sheer scale and speed of their growth within Telegram really jumps out. It kind of makes you reconsider what's possible for user acquisition and making money in Web3, especially when you build right inside a huge existing platform like that.
Absolutely. And it leaves you with a really interesting thought to chew on. If a project like Catizen can get over 1 million paying users and tens of millions in revenue just by operating inside a messaging app, what does that really mean for the future, for game distribution, for user engagement? Maybe even for other kinds of apps thriving in these integrated social spaces. Definitely something to keep an eye on.